got to know who to sign up for.
So from your group, the wide receivers, I mean, can you tell that they're ready to get out there? That's game day, that they want to be getting out there against South Alabama?
Yeah, I think so. Since I've been here in January, I've seen a lot of growth. The one thing I challenged those guys the first day I was here is to be selfless. I think at that position, if you can just generate enthusiasm for your fellow teammates, and when somebody else scores, I mean, those guys are literally running on the field to celebrate with their teammates, and that's something that is genuine. I mean, they really are excited. I can't wait to watch them play.
How have Braylon Sanders and Cam White looked this fall?
Braylon was a guy that we got on really late in the recruitment process. Thought he was a really good football player, but you watch his highlights playing basketball. I mean, you could tell he's a really good athlete. And he came in, he's a quiet kid, humble, and just has worked his tail off, and is going to be a guy that's going to be able to play this season. And Cam, the same thing, was a guy that we didn't know, kind of like D.D. Bowie. Was he going to be offense? Was he going to be defense? And we got him here and threw him in the offensive room, and he's really made some great plays this fall camp. He's a big body, kind of like the guys we like in this league. They're going to be mismatches for some corners, and he's made some really big strides as well. So excited about the future with him.
Shay mentioned it.
The selfless nature of the wide receivers. Was it difficult for AJ to move inside and play inside as much as he had?
Not at all. It was something we started doing late in the spring. We moved, Van around a little bit, started moving AJ, because AJ's one of those guys that he's a mismatch wherever you put him on the field. I mean, you put him at wide out, he's going to be a mismatch on the corners. He's just going to out physical him. And then you put him in slot, he's going to be, a better athlete than most guys that's going to line up on him. And it was just a chance for him to get some touches and, to get – just get different mismatches on the field wherever we put those guys. And so we just wanted to find a way to, we had DeMarcus Lodge, who was really starting to come along, and, Markel Pack, and, Van, obviously, and DK. And it was just a way to get those guys on the field at the same time.
With so much talent at the position since you've gotten here, there have been times where it just kind of amazes you what they can do and then what y'all can do with it.
Yeah, the thing is I knew about most of these guys even when I was hired, because they were some of the top receivers in the country, outside of just being in Mississippi. I mean, you knew about the talent that they had. And the one thing you don't know until you walk into the room is what the dynamic's going to be like. And the thing is this, there's not a day that I don't walk off the field and just be amazed that I get to coach these guys, because they are. I mean, they're very talented. They were young. They're still young. There's some things we got to work on, some fundamental stuff. But, I mean, you look at – the spring game until today, or practice one of spring until today, I mean, it's huge strides those guys made, and it's a testament to their work ethic. I mean, they're working hard in the film room. This summer, I challenged them to get better while I couldn't coach them. And, I mean, those guys, when we got to day one of fall camp, I mean, it was like day with some of them, how far they've come, and they really have worked hard. And hopefully, come Saturday, they're going to get to reap the benefits of their hard work.
As a group, is it the most talented one you've coached?
Yeah. I mean, it's very, very, very talented. I've been fortunate to, at my previous job, we had a lot of success throwing the ball. I think in 2015 we sent 6 receivers that year alone. They're still active in the NFL. I would say it's kind of compared to that year. I have not seen them play in a game yet. I'm not ready to label and throw a tag on them yet. But in terms of work ethic and all that, I would say it was very comparable to that season.
Ideally, how many would you play Saturday? How many would you want to play?
However many can help us win. Obviously, there's going to be some times that we may be out there with 4 or 5 receivers. I don't know. I mean, just whatever Coach Longo wants to call at the time. I mean, we always have the availability. Even with our tight ends, we may have 3. So, if I could play 4 and win, if I could play 8 and win, I'm going to do that. Just kind of get a feel of the game and how it's going. Just depend upon the flow.
Is Braylon somebody who definitely will play, or would that as a red shirt still a possibility?
No, he will be playing.
How's Trey been? I know
Which one?
Trey Nixon.
Trey Nixon.
This guy that kind of gets forgotten sometimes.
Yeah, Trey was a guy that, I don't know if y'all noticed, we made a move and put him outside. He was an inside slot guy, and moving AJ inside, we wanted to try him and move him outside, and he has hit the ground running. I think that's something that's going to help him tremendously this year. He is an elite speed guy, as y'all know. I mean, he has ability to take the top off and run past even the fastest corners, because, I mean, he is a legitimate fast kid. And I think being out there kind of gave him a little bit of second life, a little bit to build off of. And I'm excited. I mean, we're gonna throw him out there on Saturday and see how he does.
What's kind of held him back? Is it just like route running consistency? What necessarily is it?
You know, I don't. Every year, freshmen come in. It's a transition. I wasn't here last year, so I didn't get to see it. I just got here in spring, as you know. But it's always hard coming in. You know, you're away from home. He had to get stronger in the weight room. He was kind of light, and he always had the speed, but he needed to get physically stronger. And sometimes your legs go. Sometimes it's just you just need that year to develop. And I think that's the biggest thing for him is he had that time with Coach Jackson and his staff, and they really bulked him up. And he still could probably put on some weight, but he's physically can withhold. And I think that's something that moving him outside now, instead of having him have to block 240, 250-pound linebackers, he's now on corners, and he can match up a little bit better.
Well, there's been so much talk about DK as a red zone target, but how has his game evolved?
Yeah, I can say this: he will not just be a red zone weapon for us. He is. I will say, I mean, it's hard for me to pinpoint him being the only one, but the guy that's probably progressed the furthest from spring ball until now, it's probably been him. He's things that he's doing now with his footwork and his hands and things that he was not, wasn't as comfortable with doing now. I mean, he's just a mismatch wherever you put him on the field and whatever area of the field. I mean, he has the ability. I think he ran a 4.46 this spring. He's 225 pounds and he's 6'4". I mean, he walks in the door, he looks like a NFL D end, and that's really what they're supposed to look like at D end. And he's playing receiver. And I think, again, a kid that I had a chance to get to know through the recruitment process, just great family. His dad who played here they're all just really humble, great people, and I can't wait to watch him play.
The intricacies of the position, is that just something he had to get used to because he's always just kind of been bigger than everybody?
Yeah, I think so. In high school, I mean, you got to think about it. How many times each week do you line up with somebody that's as physically as talented as a DK Metcalf? And it's not very many times. Maybe when Oxford plays Starkville and him and AJ went against each other, that may be the few times in the year that they get to match up. But sometimes when you're used to just physically being better, the technique and things of that nature kind of get put to the wayside. It's just I'm going to be a better athlete than you sometimes, and I can't say that was always the case, but I mean it's something with him with technique and fundamentals he's really bought into, and it's really helped his game.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Well, y'all ready? Just a few more.